With the Ruin DLC trailer being announced, the Choose Your Guardian concept has been put to the side, but one player has brought to light some key details in the teaser that mean the Ruin DLC could actually be the long-awaited Choose Your Guardian DLC. So what details did we miss, and what did the Ruin poster from a year ago reveal about the trailer? So we'll start with changes lots of players noticed about Roxanne Wolf's design. For a start, her face looks far less scary than at the end of Security Breach. There was a lot of discussion about this on the subreddit, from theories about technicians to Roxanne fixing her appearance herself. But if we look past the story, from a design standpoint, it would make a lot of sense for Steelwool to make Roxanne look less scary as the new animatronic that helps us. It is also key that it wasn't just Roxanne that received redesigns, but all the animatronics, making these changes more explainable than just her changing. Sticking to this new design, her eye socket has the same design as the end of the new device we see, looking like a port for it. This, along with the device being used to access the camera systems, means that there is potential for it to let Roxanne see, but that is just speculation. As this device is presumably a main feature and has links to Roxanne Wolf, like the radio, this gives a strong standing for this concept. I also believe this device could be used more broadly. Looking at it with its functionality of plugging into the system and having speakers that could be used to help Chica, it sounds like a technician's device, adding to the idea it may be used to help the animatronics. But it wasn't just her appearance that changed. We see when Cassie places her hand on her, there isn't any aggression from Roxanne, which is odd when compared to Security Breach. Even in the same teaser, Monty doesn't seem to hesitate at all. In fact, looking at Roxanne's reaction, she appears to be a little taken aback by Cassie doing this, and from what we've seen so far in the game, this change in behaviour doesn't seem to make sense unless we are working with Roxanne. And while these concepts about Roxanne's design are very theoretical, the Guardian DLC possibly is further supported by the gameplay details. So let's look a bit more into the gameplay we are shown in the trailer. For example, the intercom feature seen on the cameras. The speaker symbol next to the name and the icon makes it clear these are for transmitting sound. So the original assumption was that the intercom feature on the cameras would act a lot like FNAF 3, luring animatronics to a certain place. It was theorized we would use it to distract Roxanne so the player can get past her. But it is equally possible this could be used by the player to guide her where Cassie can't reach to help in her escape, which would make far more sense, as the player could avoid her in Security Breach without this addition. Another key feature in the teaser was Roxanne's walkie-talkie I mentioned before. It may seem like nothing, but seeing as this detail made it into the trailer, it is most likely a very key detail. And as we've seen before with the Fazcam while working with Freddy, having an animatronic themed walkie-talkie suggests the DLC could be oriented around Roxanne, although it is still a small detail and I only mention it as a support to the other details we've already seen. But the most important detail that brings this concept together is something we don't even see in the trailer. Looking back at the Ruin teaser a year ago, the only colour on who we now know is Cassie is the red and purple of her shoes, the exact colours of Roxanne Wolf. A detail that was dismissed by the community that were trying to find a link between the girl in the poster, the Ruin Chica, and the Chica Chowder poster released shortly before. Bringing this back to what we see in the trailer, notice anything similar? The red sweater matching up to Roxanne's shirt, and the green nail polish perfectly matching Roxanne's claws. Now, I know comparing clothing in this community is somewhat notorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory is none other than the crying child.
But if you're still not sure, take Gregory being similar to Freddy as an example. Look at his shoes during the Princess Quest ending. His shoes are Freddy themed, and even though these are found in the pizzaplex, and it would make sense that they're Freddy branded, the connection is still there. And if there is anything more you think I missed, leave them in the comments, and it may end up the topic of the next video. What normally limits a DLC concept from becoming reality is whether it is interesting, doable, and story driven. Choose Your Guardian with Roxanne falls under all three. Working with an animatronic that can't see and the player can't hide in makes the player feel less safe. It also introduces new mechanics such as the intercom system, and it also lets us interact with a fan favourite character. So overall the DLC makes sense. And while it won't be what Security Breach players expected 2 years ago, Choose Your Guardian could well be coming to Security Breach in the unexpected way of a destroyed Roxanne Wolf wearing a mask in the Ruin DLC. A massive thank you to Space Bear for his help with these concepts and making this video possible. Be sure to check out his Twitter to see his awesome new FNAF project, and if you enjoyed, feel free to check out my Security Breach DLCs playlist and subscribe for my next video. Thanks for watching.